What's up with that? Should be just about daylight. Wish I could kind of remember what it was I was looking at last time I streamed that I was headed this way, but I don't remember who or where it was. I have a mark, but it doesn't help me out too well. Just gonna have to wait. Suppose we could stop and listen to meters.
Auf Seerohrtiefe. Hallo, ich habe eine große Gruppe von Schiffen festgestellt. Vermutlich ein Geleitzug.
Boy. $272. Oh, there's somebody behind us. question is, that one's 310. Might be easier to get to him than this group. Maybe we'll give that a look.
Wir sind schon so lange auf See. Ich halt's nicht mehr aus. Herr Kaloy? Ich halt's nicht mehr aus.
Well, we know about where they're at, so I say something like that. Probably start warming those up a bit. Just to try and be ready. Might as well just do all of them. We slowly make our way over there. Question is, am I going to be able to see him? We're going to have to listen. It's going to be dark out. See if I can find him. Okay, there's probably them. Take that. So the question becomes, oh my gosh, 12 knots? What the heck, man? Is Sonic the Hedgehog out here? Something like that. If I can beat him there, good lord. Yikes. Well, hopefully it does not get rough, so I might be able to catch him. Maybe. like it. How far out are we? Over 6,000. Excuse me. So just a hair over. Let's see. It's driving me nuts how it left those little waypoints behind. That's weird. I'm worried that he already got north of us. He was trucking along. This torpedo maintenance finish up on the front tubes and then maybe dive and see if figure out if we missed them already. just take them off direct orders. I don't like that we haven't been able to see him. I have a feeling we might have lost him.
Auf Seerohrtiefe.
Finished off our last patrol with a really nice ship sunk. All the tonnage we needed for this mission already. But I would still take as many as we can get while we're out. Got lots of torpedoes. I swear, like, are they just out? Is it escorts and they're just randomly changing direction, like searching, or what? What's the deal? Because those guys are heading 125. That's like the polar opposite almost of what we were looking at prior to heading up here. No.
Auf Seerohrtiefe.
Let me go ahead and say that ended up being a bit of a bust. Definitely not what I was looking for.
Zu Befehl.
No hat today, I'm confused now. That the hat's to hide my bad haircut. That's all. Usually I keep long hair. Very self-conscious about my short buzzed off hair for the summer. What's up, Cosmo? Not too much going on right now. We are just starting out and kind of had a 1 to 3 ship patrol just either flip a 180 or kind of lost them. I don't know. We didn't hear them though. I think they just decided to change and go south. Should see my eyebrow. I had a trimming accident. Oh no. It sounds traumatic. I made the bachelor poor decision that we all do many times of thinking, oh, I'll cut my own hair. And I did, and it turned out okay, but it's just not as good as letting somebody else do it that knows what they're doing. So I regret it a little bit. Let's see. Got a ways to go, I guess. I was trimming one eyebrow halfway through. I noticed I had the wrong size. Oh no, that is big oops. Been there with the hair. It's kind of what I did this time. Wanted to go just a couple numbers down, and I think I ended up with like a 4, which for me is a lot. And I started taking it off, and I was like, "Ooh, I'm not used to having this little." I like some length on there. Show it off while I still got it, I guess. Yeah, I would be a little worried myself if I screwed that up. I'd be scared to death. I guess the way we have to look at it is it comes back, right? Message from BDU. 1014 reports having sighted small group of merchant ships at coordinates AN615. Observed course is north-northeast. Approximate speed 7 knots. That's a plus. Let's see. AN615. Or maybe they have... you gotta think positive, man. They're coming back. Nobody has noticed. Yeah, I mean, the reality is, right? Like, we sit there and freak out about it internally, thinking, oh my gosh, everybody's gonna notice and just lose it. And then most people, they're like, oh, I didn't even know you did that. It's like, all that stress and anxiety. I'm sure nobody was gonna have a clue, and then you'll be like, trying to hear it slip out of somebody at some point in the future. Like, did they see that? Did they notice it like I did? AN615. Where is... God, that is way south. No thank you. I'd rather just keep going north toward where we actually need to be. If they have noticed, you have to look at it as they're being really nice and they haven't said anything. But I get that it's anxiety inducing regardless. I think I was done with the hat today. We had some farm work to do today, and boy, it is just a scorcher outside. It still is extremely warm. Extremely warm. I am not a fan. I decided not to care about it. It will grow back. That's right. That's what I'm telling myself. I just need the reminder. Speed up a bit here. Maybe I'll live to regret that. I don't know about you, but my thing was always like being very proud of the hair that I had and like trying to really take care of it. And the older I get and the less I go out and I stay home a lot more, it's like you start to get in, I don't want to say a lazy habit, but then you're like, well, why the hell do I want to do all that if nobody's going to see it? Like, what's the point? So that's kind of where I'm at right now, especially for summer. The heat just is like, gives you that ultimate excuse to just buzz it. Just try to keep yourself cool. Communications. Convoy in sight. Naval Square 516. Course 272, 7 knots. 516. That's a sub. That's not it. Five, 1, 6. Yeah, I think it's that same. No, that's not them either. I don't know if the UBE thing's a little buggy with the previous save or. Patrol sector's definitely really wanked. Loki, what's up? Smashing some more skulls this evening in Diablo. Is that what you're up to? Yeah, definitely a little wonky on this one with the patrol zone. Like, not sure what's going on over there on the left. Why it looks really distorted. And we're very clearly not there yet, so probably gonna go great. Let's try to see what we can do. Do our own little manual dive so I can either track something out a bit longer. The 5-minute thing on the default hydrophone shortcut is a little too short to really get like a bearing on anything. Oops. There we go. Yeah, it would be a good day today if we didn't have so much heat. It's just a little too toasty for me, and I'm a summer baby. I love the summer, but man, today is just... It's not warm, it's hot. It's really hot. I was not looking forward to doing our farm work today, that's for sure. When the heat settles in here, it's 5, 6 p.m. our time, and it's still just absolutely scorching, so it doesn't even start to cool off until right about now. The sun's already set, and if you're lucky, you get a little air moving. It is warm. Really, it's been humid too the last few days. That's been killer too. Just too sticky and damp out. Let's see if we hear anything here. surely we're gonna find something. A lot of ports. I don't know. It's telling us we're already in the patrol zone, which is a little janky. I'd like to know I don't have to go that far north. I'd like to steer clear of those little islands. 116, 7 knots. Could keep an eye on that one. He might be trying to skirt around and move south, or just go over to Norway. 9 to 21. Holy cow. That's a big convoy. Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that. That's going to be one where I need to be reminded to not rush in there. Because I'll do what I did before and drive right up on the nose of a destroyer. See if they find anything else. That's all we're seeing so far, just that big convoy. Our tonnage for this patrol is literally already locked and loaded. The end of my last stream and patrol, which got pretty late, it was about 12:30, a little later in the morning when I was wrapping up, and I came across a perfect freighter, a C3 class, which is massive, and I have never seen one yet in game. And we put 2 torpedoes into her right broadside, and she went down. So that was beautiful. It was almost like 8,000 tons, I think. That is going to be so janked. How in the heck are we going to know where in the Lord our patrol area is if it's not this? Is it supposed to be like this whole square? Let's see. It's another convoy. 8 knots. They're heading 122. We're not in a terrible position to try to intercept. All I need to do is literally kind of cut us a bit southwest there, just a tad. And I mean, if there's anywhere near half as many ships, get to see a lot of C3s and Liberties later on. Nice. That's the first C3 I've seen. Most of my playthroughs admittedly weren't very far into the war. I, for various reasons, had to quit a save or this or that at the time, so it was pretty interesting to see it the other night. I was pretty excited. It's about the last, I think, 20-ish, 30 minutes of that stream. It was a good way to wrap it up, for sure. I think what we'll do is keep an eye on these guys, and when they get a little further, we will head that direction and see what we see. Like, look at that. What is going on? Started heading east. Now he's very clearly heading west again. In a big, massive convoy like that, they're just flipping direction. What in the heck? Amanum has pointed out a couple times in stream that this is literally like the cursed save, and I'm beginning to have to agree with him. Like, I just think it's a little janked. That other group is right up on the coast. I'm already beginning to lose position on them. Maybe we will, we were 8 knots. I think. I'm just gonna see if we can get somewhat close to them. Yeah, they're just gonna move down the coast. There's no reason to track that as far as I'm concerned. We are gonna surface and boogie down there, see what we can see.
Meter.
6 knots, fairly calm, should be.
Wechseln auf Dieselmotor. Schneller, schneller!
Infamous bug. We checked torps at the beginning of the stream, so I know we're good. When we get close enough to warrant that, we'll just see about warming them up. For now, it's not a concern. Oh boy. Was not expecting that. It's Norway anyway, we'd have to scout them out. I'm gonna let it go since it's a random and it might end up being pointless anyway. I'd rather chase down that smaller convoy just to see what we can find. It's on the more hostile side, although that guy is most likely leaving or going to a hostile port, I guess, but I don't know. 6 one way, half a dozen the other, right? Let's didn't want to get too close, but my luck, he's gonna radio us in and resist the temptation to clip 1800 time compression every time I do that lately. I just get into a bad situation. Be patient. Reality is we might have missed this guy if he wasn't going all the way south. He's probably out here behind us now. How's your playthrough going, Cosmo? Have you played any more this week yet? Maybe not. I know a lot of people are probably pretty busy with the holiday weekend. Kind of backs things up. I get that.
Wechseln auf E-Motor.
Auf Seerohrtiefe.
Alarm! Auf Gepäckstation!
What do we find now? Oh, that looks great. He's already cutting towards us. Middle of June now in 1944. Pretty late into it. Very nice. And why in the hell they triggered the alarms just off the fact that those are warships? Why is that convoy seem so very skewed all over the place? Is he just circling around them maybe? Everything is rinse and repeat now? Yeah, I'm sure. So at that point, let me ask you this. At that point, are you pretty much just, you're like doing patrols, that sort of thing? You've probably wrapped up like everything in the game, like mission-wise, I'm sure. Just going out to like search for enemy ships. Propeller noise. That's the one that we passed. Question is, what the hell do I want to do with these guys? That's 3 warships. Yeah, just regular patrols. I guess that's kind of cool, though. I mean, I know you guys might not feel the same with having as much time in, but I was going to say at least that gives you a little bit of maneuverability, I guess, in terms of, like, somewhat where you want to go. Oh, what to do with this? Right now we're going to shut that off. There's zero reason to be on alarm as far as I'm concerned right now. It's nighttime, so we at least have that to help. I already see where my issue will be is if I get in position to engage 1 or even 2 of these ships, being this close to shore, I feel like it's going to be shallow, which is going to mean hiding from them is going to feel a lot tougher and more dangerous with less water to hide in. But hey, just need to keep working at it a little by little until the war is over. Yep. That's cool, though. I like that a lot of you guys that have been in chat have, you know, been further into it. It's pretty interesting to hear the experiences. Jet, you, I think Amanim plays as well. Maybe not quite as much or as much as he'd like to, but I know he does. Let's see. Let's... Actually... We're going to try to get much further out ahead because that's usually a problem is I'm not lying in wait. I'm always playing catch up.
Kapitän?
Kurt, brother, let me help you out there. Alright, let's surface. As soon as we surface, we'll resupply the air, speed up, and get to where we think we want to be. Definitely feeling much more comfortable with the in-game systems to calculate torpedo course. The TDC is not working out as well as I'd hoped. Something, I think the one thing on the TDC that somehow is giving me grief, maybe I'm sure it is user error and I'm doing it improperly, is calculating the angle on bow. It's like when I go to enter that into the device, I'm getting the opposite of what I should be entering. So I think it's definitely user error in the method I'm putting it in. So I definitely need to learn that a bit better. You should make some tutorial videos. I told, I think you and Jet were here the one night, and Jet, you know, I told him the same thing. I said it'd be awesome to see you guys stream or make videos. I would watch those for sure. Yeah, use the TDC. Maybe if we get an opportunity where I'm not dealing with, you know, if we just get an escort or something, I'll play it really slow, pause it a little bit, and we'll kind of walk through it, maybe see if I can figure out where I goofed it up. I know I'm getting the speed entered correctly, or I'm assuming here, like majority, and then distance to target. And I'm almost positive my error is somewhere in angle on bow. If I had to put money on it myself, that's my assumption. Nice clear night. Could work in our favor or against us a bit. Knots, we're cooking pretty good. Auto save. My next playthrough, I'll download some mods. Been looking forward to using the TDC. Yeah, it's so cool. It's such a well done mod. That's why I'm not frustrated. I haven't put enough time into it, but I definitely want to be using it. I haven't had much time in the last day or two to really sit down and kind of educate myself a bit better on it. So it's, you know, no fault of anyone. Just have to get some time. Back to the base, heard single propeller, 511, most likely merchant, slow speed eastern course. That's going to be to our east somewhere, I believe. 516 should be... Yeah, it's these that we keep getting. Let's see. So just to show this a little bit while I'm slowly making my way down there, trying to be patient. The TDC, so the few things that I think, and please feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, this switch is for bow and stern torpedo tubes to kind of choose which one you're wanting to work with. This would be target speed, the top one here. This would be distance to target, and it's measured in hectometers, I believe, so you have to do that little bit of conversion just to make sure you're correct there. And then this is, if I'm not mistaken, the angle on bow. But what goofs me up is, like, when you're rotating this, maybe it's just like working opposite sides of what I was normally thinking, because the little dial inside is what kind of goofs me up, like when I see those numbers change. Because like say here we're, you know, 20 degrees, and then you get these, that's the part that's kind of throwing me off. I'm overthinking it, I think. Is that maybe it's because on this side we're only looking at the green, so that would be like 20, 21 would be getting that sucker a little closer. Maybe that's what I'm missing. 22, etc. Anyways, very rudimentary understanding of it for sure. Numbers on the intersection are the ones, green for green side, etc. Okay, so maybe that is what was goofing me up. I wasn't thinking about the variance in color to correspond to each side. That makes sense, though. I totally understand. I just don't like flying blind. It's nighttime, but so many times I speed myself right into those escorts, and that is just stressful and not ideal. Are the ones that, okay. Yeah, it totally makes sense. As we were walking through that, or I was kind of showing what I might be missing, that makes perfect sense. Somehow I did not make that observation myself at the time. So 27 green would be with the outer dial between 20 and 30 with green 7. Okay, beautiful. Perfect. Thank you for clarifying. That makes perfect sense. So I think we will try this. And then hectometers, it's not a hard conversion. You want to figure it's a tenth of a... Oh, we got a little buzzing going on the saltwater aquarium. Give me 1 second. I think that's a temperature gauge going off. Computer's making it a little toasty in here. All right. Maybe crisis averted. We'll see. I was correct with everything else. Okay. Good to know. I very much appreciate the clarification for sure. We'll definitely use her a little more and see what I can do to get a little more practice with it. Right now, I love how I got up in my panic and didn't even pause the game, but hey, stuff happens. Poor old fish tank is a little toasty tonight, even with the fans and whatnot running. It's just enough heat in the room. It kind of gets just slightly enough to trip that little audio alarm to let me know. All right, there is one of our... Let's work this a little slowly here.
Torpedokurs berechnen.
Dale class. It's a little bit of a new one for me as well. Don't know that I've seen a Dale class yet. It's not a cruiser, is it? That would be still classified as a freighter, I believe. No? Nice tonnage there. That is a big ship. I can tell already just from the distance, you know, how big that sucker is. Yeah, it's not a cruiser. Not a frigate. Could be... No. It's not any of those. That's why we're in Australia, duh. We are looking for UK. No, it's not civilian. Is it a tanker? That's it. I was gonna say. Whoa, 12,000 nearly? That is a lot of tonnage. No joke. My next question is, can we see... Oh yeah. There's one of our... Ooh. There's at least two of the three, I think, unless somebody's on the inside of each other and I can't quite tell. There's two. Could be further. Yep, there he is. There's the third. So, it would be pretty important that I get this hit. Boy, something that big, that's probably what, 3 torpedoes? Two, there's no way 2 would take that thing down. Let's, oops, did not want command line. So let's go ahead and get you warming these puppies up. 1 torpedo, you think? Because it's the tanker, could set it off. I feel like I'm gonna do 2 just to be safe. Because you know we're going to have to avoid those escorts for a bit, dance around or hide to let them move on. It's a tanker, those things don't react too well. Understandable, I get it. That's the infamous hunt for Red October. Most things in here don't react too well to bullets. Alright, let's... Thank God that it's at least fairly calm, right? This is a big sucker. Visibility's 39%. I should have went periscope depth. With how calm it is right now, we might still drop down. I do not want them to see me. Let's
Auf Seebordsuche gehen.
oof. What do we have going on here, Captain? Sheesh.
Wechseln auf G-Motor.
Auf Seebordsuche.
Should be. There's our escort. There he is. Alright, now let's figure up our course. I hate how that name kind of blocks you from seeing like quite exactly where your mark is until you're not near the ship. So 103 to I would be all excited to use my TDC, but it's kind of a nice target. I don't want to goof it up, so we'll just play her safe. Oh, that sucks with the trees. Yikes. I can't get a filter on the attack scope either to help me. So what are we working with? Those two masts. That one's a bit easier to see without a tree in the back, but boy, I still don't know. Somewhat close. Line up the horizontal bar of the periscope with the top of the mast. So we want to be right about... Doesn't work too well with those keys. It's pretty close right there. Then use the statometer to line up the water line with the horizontal bar. That part's got me. Line it up before using. I see what you're saying. So you're saying use horizontal line like so, and then use the meter to line up the water line with horizontal. Then use the meter to line up the water line with horizontal. No, I've got to line up to the top of the mast. I see what you're saying. Okay, okay. So top of the mast, we want to get right out there. No, to the top of the mast. Like, yeah, I was doing it on the water line. You want top of the mast like we're doing right now. We'll give that little second delay between what I'm saying and what pops up in chat. Remember, you can drag with mouse for better aligning. Good to know. Simple trick. I don't know. I'm losing myself on trying to think. To line up the water line with the periscope line. That doesn't feel right. Use the statometer to line up. Make the ship go up to meet the water line to the periscope line. Make the ship go up to meet the water line to the periscope line. Boy, a hot day with my brain cooked is not the right time to teach myself. It's got to be so frustrating for you guys that watch me fumble through it. To line up the water line with periscope. My confusion is when I'm moving the statometer though, it's not going to keep the line of the periscope. You know what I mean? Like, or at least that's what my brain is trying to tell me. Like, it's not in the same position. Use Q to bring the water line to the horizontal line. Oh. So just kind of like we did right there, roughly. Gotcha. See? Love to overcomplicate things. That's pretty close. I can see just where the tops of those flags are, roughly, with those trees, unfortunately, in our a little over 5,000 meters. That's probably about right. Visibility's great. We're good there. I don't know that he even got that maintenance done yet. And to think, it used to be figuring out their course was my biggest problem. Now that's like the easiest part. In my defense, I hate that back. It's kind of cool to see the backdrop that close to land, but seeing the snow-covered trees really doesn't help me. Helps a lot in bad weather. It gives you an easy to see mark instead of trying to see those little mast tops. I agree. That now makes sense to me. Thank you. Unfortunately, I only have a range of 5,000 meters, so he's just outside of that. I didn't get us quite close enough. Let's yeah, 5,000 on a T1. Same thing, T1 and T2 both are. That could be a problem. I know Salted was in here a week or two ago and was saying something about the range, but see, I think he may have been talking about stuff further on when you get, what are they, T5s and whatnot. A T1 will hit it, goes 7.5 at 40 knots. Okay. Well, we've got 2 of those in our loaded tubes, so let's see, we need tubes 2 and 4. He's going to warm up 2 right now. You could also surface and run ahead of it a bit to get a better firing position. We could, because it is a little off angle there. We're not quite closed in on well, let's go ahead and do that, I suppose. That'll give him a chance to warm up both of those T1s. It's moving, what, 8 knots, so yeah, we will have to surface. Come on, guys, get us up. Really hope those destroyers are not going to see us, though. Positioning ourselves horizontally, that's no bueno. We're giving them a nice big profile. It is nighttime for the time being, but it's pretty clear also. Yes, the quicker we do it, the better, eh? He's running about 8 knots, so it shouldn't take us much to get up ahead of him. Warm up number 2-4. Should probably double check that. Yeah, 2, 2, and 4. Keep the destroyers a little inside max sight range without worry. Good to know. Those are the kind of tips that are much appreciated from you guys, because I just don't know with minimal experience. So we're about where we want to be for them as far as I'm concerned. We know they're there. I don't really care to engage this close to shore, so as long as we get a little bit in front of our friend here. Focus on that and see what we can do. perfect to keep him just in sight too. It's always good to not lose him. A bit further, we want to be ahead of him. Just a wee bit. While you're running ahead, you can see when angle on bow reaches 90 degrees by looking at the superstructure. That one I don't follow you. Like, I understand the angle on bow reaches 90 degrees. You know what I didn't do? Good Lord. Superstructure has flat elements to it, like the front of the structure. Yeah, you got me confused there, Cosmo. My brain can't comprehend, sir. Or when masts line up for some other ships. I see what you're saying. Well, my thought was, I don't know. I don't know all the tactics yet, I guess. But my hope was to get far enough ahead and let him kind of work his way to where we need him to be. But I see what you're saying, because we would still have to calculate angle on bow, and I can't let it just infinitely move from one area to another. Boxy design, yeah. Let's see what we can do here. I'm pretty confident we can get into a good position. Just a wee bit more. And then let's try to... Actually, what I'm gonna do, which might not be a terrible... Actually, I won't do that just yet. Just get ourselves loosely turned here, just a bit. Now, let's go ahead and stop. Our air has not topped completely off yet. It's 95%, which isn't terrible. Doesn't really matter. We're 97%. We've got enough to surface from periscope depth.
Auf Seerohrtiefe gehen.
You keep warming those up, I guess. Not ideal timing to have you doing it earlier when I've moved all this way, but whatever. Let's figure up, we're gonna have to redo distance and our angle. Forward 3, eh?
Wechseln auf E-Motor.
What the hell? Still running that compressor? Are you kidding me? The hell didn't anybody shut that off? It's gonna be sucking water. Oh my gosh. I love that. It leads by a bit more. First, let's get this damn compressor shut off before we suffocate ourselves and goof everything up. Good lord, guys. Issued that twice. Never got filled. Thank you. Alright. One small crisis averted.
Torpedo ausrichten.
I'm really not going to be able to. Maybe a 45-degree lead angle. So 45-degree from... I'm talking something like this. But then that's going to cause us to have a much steeper, well, less steep, and so I guess we want less than a 90-degree angle, because anything greater is a bigger threat to a dud, correct? I see what you're saying. So it's better to have 90 and less. Gotcha. From my understanding. All right. Can always turn later when you get to a good range. I gotcha. Let's, I guess all I can do is try to close the distance a bit before we start worrying about plotting anything. Those destroyers are all landside, which seems like a horrible strategy on their part, right? You'd want to be on the other side. But I'm not going to complain. Alright, let's see if I can apply your teaching here to maybe 60-degree lead angle. So we need to go even more. Something like that. I was gonna say good range. Let's what are you looking at, my guy? We need to find our friend. That's one destroyer. There he is. You don't need to worry about the parallax. Okay, visibility is still just fine. Let's go ahead and figure this up. I hate that with that little name bit. They need to change that. Oh, you... God forbid it lets you pick up the point. So 87 degrees to side. Add 87. Perfect. And then distance, let's see if I can apply your lesson here. So we want to have this to top of the mast. About right there. Pretty close. Trying to think if that sounds about right. Shy of 3,000 meters, 3 kilometers. That's pretty much 90-degree angle on bow, yes. Let's take a... Yeah. I would say... I shouldn't have put you on depth keeping just yet. actually. Let's keep one on there. Yep. Now shoot. I wanted to... I keep forgetting. I think it's 2 and 4.
Rohr 4, bewässern.
You're making me nervous with the 1 torpedo recommendation. I know the whole tanker thing, but I was feeling way more confident having 2. Yeah, tube 4 was the T1, which I guess it doesn't matter. Speed setting, set to 44. Copy that.
Rohr 4 fertig.
I think we are ready, correct?
Los!
We're gonna test your expertise here if 1 was enough. I mean, you guys at this point, you've blown up enough tankers, I think you know. My mind doesn't make the connection between something that big and 1 torpedo, even though it's just a explosive payload designed to rip holes in things. Start turning the plan escape. Good idea. Let's clean this crap up so I can see nice and clearly. And I would say if we're turning,
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen.
Sehr wohl, Herr Kaloy.
we're just going to want to get the hell away from them as quickly as possible.
Sehr wohl, Herr Kaloy.
Schneller, schneller!
Boy, I really hope it doesn't dud too. That's the other thing that makes me nervous with the earlier torpedoes. Even warmed up. Stay at forward 3.
Der Torpedo ist auf halbem Weg zum Ziel.
I got you. Half the distance. Looks somewhat close. Looks like it might be a little behind, which would be bad for me.
Sekunden bis Torpedoeinschlag. 30 Sekunden.
Thank you. Definitely a lot of help from you just on this one engagement. Little tips to remember for next time.
Torpedoversager.
What did I tell you? That's what sucks about early on with this bare bones technology. It's not as, I don't want to say easy, but you guys get the, whatever it is, T5s or whatever it even is. I get a rock that I threw at it to now it kicked the hornet's nest. No, they don't know yet. That sucks. Surface run ahead, yeah, that's what I was just thinking. Let's, we're gonna, how close, we got a ways, they're not that far south, okay. Rinse and repeat. We hit it, and right in the middle too, couldn't have been better. Just missed the small boom part, that's all. Let's alright. As soon as we surface here, we'll hammer down and get ahead again. Try to attempt number 2. Attempt number 3. We'll say it's 2.
Wechseln auf Dieselmotor. Schneller, schneller!
Alright. Let's clean this mess up. Get you on engines. Let's go ahead. They're picking us up a bit too. We're gonna have to make sure I really keep that distance properly. I hope that dud doesn't go whizzing by them and tick them off. Also teaches you how forgiving having parallax is. Yeah, that's for sure. Alright, let's see if we can get positioned correctly here. He's a little bit closer than I'd like him to be. We need to back this off. Get away from him a bit. What the hell was that? What are we doing here, guys, with the course? Is there like an island or something you're trying to force me around? That's weird. He's gonna see us now. Oh my lord, this could not be worse. I really do not want to see that number climb anymore. We need to get the hell away. Yeah. Definitely need to distance ourselves. He is really stinking close. If this was not nighttime, we would have already been screwed. It's going down now, so not being broadside to him is helping. Now we just need to make sure I get far enough away and then head our southwest a bit. Fun. All that for a tanker. It's a lot of weight though. That's a lot of weight. That's would be the biggest ship I've sunk yet in this game. So we'll do what we can. Let's check our little tedious stuff here for a second. Alright, a little bit more.
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen. Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen.
Air compressor's good for once, thankfully. The amount of luck I have right now that those destroyers are not on deep water side of them is blowing my mind. Like, that's a blessing from the AI. Any other time I'd attempt something like this, they'd all be just a wall across in front of him, but somehow we lucked out that they're running shoreline.
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten
A
setzen.
little bit further ahead, we'll try to keep him in sight. Use the little tricks we learned. Could also try a surface attack. Yeah, we could do that. I do prefer, you know, not having the complications of periscope's kind of nice. I don't know. I mean, they all have their pluses and minuses, right? But It's definitely easier when you don't have to worry about the, as in stay on the surface, not, yeah, right, I got you. No deck gun with those escorts. No, thank you. Let's start to cut this in just ever so slightly.
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen.
No, I copy loud and clear. No deck gun in this situation. Now let's do, like you suggested, we want to keep a little less than 90. Time to turn in. Yep. I'm going to stay right about like that. All right. We also don't want to be doing Mach 2 here. What are you out here looking at, sir? There's our guy. Is that the same one? We've got more than one. Those were the other two. All the data except for range should still be valid. Well, now we've got a conundrum because that's our guy right there. The other two, I didn't even realize those other two were bigger. There are 3 tankers. Wonder, boy, that'd be some fast calculations though, and then we'd still have to worry about the escorts. Threw me off to see those as well. I wasn't expecting. There's one, an OL, or O, yeah, I think it's OL. Yeah. 2 of them, I believe. All right. Well, yeah, you're right. Let's do one at a time here, see what we can do. Let's get our original friend here. Dale. Okay, and you were telling me that all data except for range should still be valid. So we need to get distance yet again. So let's also let me make sure we fired off 4. Let's get 2. I should have had that loaded too. That's a slip up on my part. All right. We need him on attack scope, not here. You, sir. Please and thank you. Get distance when you're in firing position. Yeah. So you're telling me we shouldn't have to figure... So it's just waiting here while it comes in front of you. Gotcha. Let's go ahead and stop. Actually, it's not going to hurt us to be at forward 1. And actually, we'll let him complete the maintenance. That'll buy us a little time to load that other tube. Over halfway through that maintenance. Let's get you. Oops. That's why he's rushing back to his actual shift.
Bewegung, los, schneller.
Get that one in, load it up. I guess the only thing is we'll be engaging him in the back. Those two in the front won't be in a position really to try to figure up a shot on them, because by that point the destroyers will probably be headed our way and we'll have to be booking it away from them, I would imagine. Get the front two later. Yeah, we could always let them reform and go about their way, I guess. There's not much they can do if they lose one.
Rohr 4 geladen.
What did we have? God, I wish I would have paid more attention. We put a T1 in tube 4. Okay, we still have 1 and 2. Okay, perfect. 2 and 4. Really, we lost them? There's our guy right there. We probably want to stop, not get too close. What time is it getting to be? Okay, we still got plenty of time before daylight. Yeah, we're just about right. We should be inside 90 degrees to him, so just need him to get the hell are you? Let's get you on the old helmsman station to help a bit with this bobbing. Oh my gosh. Maybe we should have done periscope depth. There's no way in hell I'm going to be able to see anything like this. There we go. Maybe. Alright, here's what we're gonna do. Yeah, it might be too late now. I already triggered that, tried to cancel it, but I think we are... should cancel that. What are you guys doing? I don't think they triggered that yet. There we go. What are we doing? Yeah. We basically just dumped our air there for no reason other than me clicking that a little too quickly.
Zu Befehl.
Turn that on, and why is this still trying to flood? Well, let's see what we can do. I am worrying about way too much right now. Where in the hell? Should be. It's our escort. It's right there. Alright. Yeah, we got her raised up. We should be okay. Little past 90 degrees angle on bow now. Distance. Worst possible time for an autosave. Yeah. Pretty close, right about there. That should be just about right. And we should be warmed up. At least one.
Rohrzweig, bewässern!
Part of me really wanted that second torpedo warmed up, though. I just worry that it's going to happen again. Need to bump that speed up again as well.
Rohr 2, fertig.
Los!
Let's clean this up and we'll start heading the other direction.
Kurs ab!
Jawohl.
Schneller, schneller!
What in God's name?
Der Torpedo ist auf halbem Weg zum Ziel.
Put someone on hydrophone. Yeah, surface for now. We'll see what happens. We either get a boom or another clang and nothing. We'll hope for the former.
40 Sekunden bis Torpedoeinschlag.
Stay in visual range. We're moving nice and slow right now, but we'll start.
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen.
Zu Befehl.
Jeez.
20 Sekunden. Zehn Sekunden bis Einschlag.
Fingers and toes crossed.
Torpedoversager.
Oh my gosh. What a mess. What a mess. That's extremely disheartening, I have to say. We'll be a pro at attempting. Is that a mod thing with the duds? It shouldn't be. Nothing. I remember reading like what was actually installed with UBE, and nothing was like affects those realism settings when you start your save file. So nothing's on like extreme, you know. I can't. We'd have to go back to the main menu to show you what's in there, but shouldn't be anything that's affecting the. Ay, ay, ay. I'm gonna attempt one more on this and see if I can get 2 torpedoes situated for it. And if we still have the same issue, then we'll assume something might be up. But I agree with you. It shouldn't have been. Compressors on. Yes, sir. Another round it is. Yeah, we got our hard to starboard. I will say that since trying the UBE mod, for the few things that I like that it does, like kind of more heavily populating various areas and kind of gives you a reason to feel like pursuing something, it does seem far worse in like stability of the crew. Like I had it down like butter before, where guys would start their rolls automatically. You very rarely had to like intervene. But since messing with the UBE mod, it's like very like orders get hung up. Guys aren't, they just stand there idle more than you want them to. It's a little frustrating. I'm not entirely blaming that mod. It could just be because having certain files cached and not cleared out when I installed the mod, that maybe it caused grief with it. But it's a noticeable difference, I think. Just something small. Let's go ahead and straighten her out just a tad. Let's not lose him. We're already going to lose him. Let's try to get just out ahead again. And actually, what we need to be doing really quickly is getting those torpedoes popped up here.
Bewegung, los, schneller! Ei, ei, Herr Kaloi, Kaloi.
So let's let them do that. Try to get out ahead of him here just a bit. Perfect. Let's start to turn this in just a wee bit. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I love that Kurt's just standing idle and we have nobody. Like, what are you doing, my guy? Got the torpedoes topped off. Yeah. Alright. This time something's gonna explode, even if I have to send 2 shots down there. They're a little bit closer than I'd really like. Be sure that's topped off. I just want to be sure. Yeah.
Auf Seerohrtiefe gehen.
Let's do this one from Periscope.
Torpedokurs berechnet. Wechsel auf Seerohrtiefe.
There he is. All right. Let's try this again. Ooh. That could be a bit of a problem. I needed to turn into him a bit more, I think. E3. I guess it should be all right. Almost done with that maintenance. Now what we are going to do is get tube 4 as well.
Bewässern.
Rohr 2 fertig.
Really want to send 2. I just don't know if I can wait. Yeah, they're not going to have it done before he's well over.
Los!
Do what? The one thing I forgot. Too late now.
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen.
Jawohl.
We're gonna see. We're gonna hope for the best.
Der Torpedo ist auf halbem Weg zum Ziel.
Half the distance. Good practice tonight, you're not kidding. Gotta stay on the positive, right? Oh, please don't do it to us a third time, please. We've put in too much effort.
Bis Torpedoeinschlag.
He's got the hull made of just titanium.
30 Sekunden. 20 Sekunden.
All right. Now, what kind of depth are we working with here? Dead center on that. Having a dud is better than having a miss. That's a very optimistic way to look at it. You're not wrong. Dead center. Yeah, we had our two duds. At least the second one was really well centered. It just, man, that's so demoralizing to have just the plink. Oof, 50 meters of water too. Yikes. So, I suppose another smart thing would be to mark this in case we need to come back. A dud does not indicate a lack of skill. That's a good way to look at it. I like that. See, I rely on you guys pumping up the confidence for me. We were doing forward 3, but we are periscope depth. Yeah, why do we not have you on hydrophone? Let's see. So they're starting to come over and check that out. We are headed the opposite direction.
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen.
It's only about 7 knots is the bad part. They have evacuated. It is pitch black, extremely hard to see aside from the fire. There we go. You don't get credit if you don't see it sink. I gotcha. Not too worried about these two at the moment. Him, if we see him cut hard towards us, could be a little nerve-wracking, but we'll do what we can here. Try to keep her quiet. Barely visible. We still have middle of the night advantage. Can't tell if it's actually sinking or... Yeah, I guess it is. They say that they're evacuating. They're transmitting radio. So as long as we keep them within... it's on fire with crew evacuated, it will sink, yeah. I knew the crew evacuation thing is pretty much a guarantee. What the hell is going on? Can you even do anything on radio at periscope depth? I can. But they can pick up on that radio signal, can't they? Okay right now. Later on they can pick up on it. I gotcha. Good, you got your kill. Yes, we did. So, at this point, we are... I guess all we can do is kind of see what they're gonna do. Reluctant agreement. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. Yeah, I was gonna say we're better off to just get up and get away from them, hey? While it's dark and we can do that. Visibility's only 2% periscope, so we're gonna be okay. We'll boogie on out of there. Maybe we'll see if they don't get too crazy with maneuvering around. We'll head after those front two. Still 39%. That's pretty consistent where we were. Let's get our compressors on. What is up with this crazy... Yes, please receive that so I can not get the notification. Yeah, it's them obviously radioing that we've just attacked them. Thank you for that clarification. Guess we just stay boogieing out of here. Oh no. Good Lord Almighty. That is not what I was hoping to have happen. Oh God. Right? This dude, it's the cursed save, I'm telling you. And he's headed right for us, too. Oh, God. Aircraft are just like the stressor. I wish Jet was here tonight. Jet's always the one telling me, like, oh, there's no aircraft at night. It's raining. There's no aircraft. I'd be like, oh, what was that? I'm going to tell him next time he's in stream. Shoot it down. I gave the order to dive, but that destroyer, oh man. Shit. It's kind of worst case scenario. He's right there too. Oh my God. Depth charges. Well, this is gonna get sketchy real quick. Yeah, right. We're not shooting this puppy down. We're just going to attempt to flee with our lives. Oh, God. Get us down, boys. We got to go.
Wechseln auf E-Motor.
Shut that damn thing off and shut that off. Yeah, he missed, that's for sure. So now we got to get some change in direction, I would say.
Kurs auf diese
Let's cut
Koordinaten
this a
setzen.
tad.
Zu Befehl.
Yeah, it looked like a flare because that destroyer was somewhere right in here, but we kind of lost him when we finally got the guys to get us under. So at this point, I'm hoping maybe the flare will help kind of keep the attention from our direction change. Let's see here. Let's get you on depth keeping. I do not want to risk popping up. Yeah, that was definitely a flare of theirs. I don't think that was any effect from our red light or anything. I think that destroyer, escort, whatever, had deployed a flare. If they drop depth charges, though, this can still get bad really quickly. And we don't have much water here to go down. Let's test this out just to see. I'm going to trust a Manum that they can't pick up on the echo sounder. It's a little deeper.
Tauchen auf 50 Meter.
They're still flying over, so they're looking. Maybe we'll get a better look at where that destroyer was. I bet money. Oh, I thought we were closer to, I guess that other Air Force base is much further north. Yeah, it's all the way tucked in here. They just have a port. Let's go ahead and change direction again. The only thing I don't like about airplanes is we don't know how long they're going to stick it out and just circle up there. I mean, I'm all for trying to engage one, but that was very quickly became two. And in the middle of the night, I mean, good Lord, like daytime I can understand, but it's literally almost 1 a.m. Like, how are they? Does that mean there's like a carrier somewhere out here? Almost would have to be, I would think. Destroyers aren't close to us. You had some great help there in helping me keep them at a proper distance away, so that's huge. They shouldn't be able to pick up on us, but those aircraft have me a little nervous.
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen.
Should have a crew task priority set for observation scope. We have, let's take a look at that, because I believe I guess it's not high on the priority list as it probably should be. Helmsman Station we actually had to change. The last, when we started this patrol on the last stream, we had a major issue where leaving port, nobody on the crew went to the Helmsman Station. We couldn't turn the ship. Like, we literally barely left port, like within eyesight of it, and nobody would get on the helm to allow us to steer. It was super confusing. Like, I really thought we may have had to trash the save, but I came in here just to see if bumping the number from, I think we were at 9 to 10, and it, just like that, they jumped on it and turned, and we had no issue. You can set up additional shifts for specific tasks. Observation and helmsman. Yeah, I guess I do need to either bump that up or just create a new. Let's see what we can do. Go back to Periscope and see if anybody can pick it up. Like one shift for helm only. I gotcha. Maybe I'll try that. I'll bump the number back down and then just put, yeah, just put a single sailor on it. Gotcha.
20 Meter.
That destroyer turned around for the time being. Autosave. And I don't know why it's been doing this with between Hoffman and Captain, where they should be automatically like alternating, where one's off duty, the other picks up immediately between navigation observation. It's been like he's just been idle, like sitting there, which is incredibly frustrating. Like right now, he should be prioritizing. Let's see, that like reset his, that is what happened. He got reset. I would have never had him on like play cards. What the heck? No wonder we're having trouble. We had this pretty much set up to mirror Captain. I don't want you cooking. Like, get out of here with that. No wonder I had trouble with that. It reset him when he came back from his research. I was like, there's no way he should be standing idle like that. It's crazy. Should have checked that. My question is, have we gone far enough, long enough? Probably not. It's only been not even like less than a half hour in game. Let's head out just a ways and then we'll surface and see what we can do.
Kapitän.
That is the worst. I can't stand it. Like, try to walk through that little space, please. Slow down for a second here. We ever... We did not.
Bewegung. Los, schneller. Sehr wohl, Herr Kanoy.
Alright, next we have to get the compressor on. That kind of spoiled our plans with those aircraft. Convoy's still back there. There's a port there. I wonder if that's where they're headed. Don't really want to be greedy, but let's get that pumped out in the meantime. Yeah, no wonder Kurt was causing us a little grief there, like seeing him stand around idle. It like must have reset him when he came back from the research project we had like 2 patrols ago. Somehow I didn't pick up on that or think to even check it, I guess. Could have been from the mod installing too, and like it could have tweaked something in there, reset. Forward 3.
Rohr 2 geladen.
Kurs ab.
Let's go ahead and stop and listen here, see where they are headed.
Herr Kanoy.
Binocs. Let's give her a try while he scans that for us. Maybe.
Kapitän.
He's gonna get up here. See how much water I'm working with here. Oh, we're good here. Nice and deep. Let's take a peek. Should be... There's the smoke. That would be... Bad part is now that we've taken one out, I wonder if those escorts are on the deeper water side, which would make it much trickier to engage. Let's see. Let's continue just a bit before we dive, if we can get a visual on them, like you said. I like that little bit of lag that's been introduced too with that since the UBE mod. Like it kind of spikes it for just a millisecond, but it's like in that millisecond, what's going to happen? airplane or one of the destroyers comes into sight, something like that. Let's see. Here's our smoke, so they're still to our roughly 90. Seems like they're headed two different directions, which is a bit strange. I mean, I don't know how accurate those visuals are, especially... It would be 1... 2, 3, at least 4. Could be another one somewhere right in here, mixed, I can't tell. Yes, please stand in the 1 position.
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen.
I have a feeling this time that those escorts are going to be our side, especially after that ship was sunk. I have a feeling. Oh my gosh, this is killing me.
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen.
See, those two to me look like they're headed down the coast, kind of, same direction, but these two, that seems like it's headed almost in toward the coast, and this one looks like it could potentially be coming our direction, like east, I guess, generally speaking, from its bearing. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know. It's obviously smoke, and you can't judge accurately from that, but... Still middle of the night, not even 2 a.m. yet. Unless they're really just clipping along too, they could have picked up the pace. Let's cut in here just a tad.
Kurs ab.
I feel like we should have been able to see him.
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen.
There's a couple masts. Closer. Hopefully, if we're lucky, those escorts may have hung back a bit, kind of in the positioning they were. That would be great if the tankers were leading the pack. That gives us a little better access to them. Still in the back of our minds now is going to be that airplane escort or whatever it was. I don't know. Random airplanes. That could cause us some grief.
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen. Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen.
That definitely looks like, I want to say, sure doesn't look like that tanker we saw though. That is an escort for sure. That is an escort as well. That looks like an escort too. Where the hell did the other tanker go? We saw two in addition to the one we sunk. Is it further? No. If he is, maybe it's just the smoke's not visible, maybe? I only remember seeing 3 escorts before though. Those two. That one for sure. That looks like a tanker. Yeah. Good call. So, maybe we should pick him off in the back.
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen.
That's the one we want, I think. If he's in the back by himself, the one out front, we would have to contend with the escorts moving towards us. Oh, I can almost get a lock on him. Dale class, yep. Yeah, the O was the, I think, the one leading the pack, I believe. Let's, I still need to try to get close enough to get a... time. It's just a tinge over 2. Got several hours. I would think we'd be okay. Let's slow this down for a second so I can make sure I don't miss too much here. We're way out in front of him, so you know what we're gonna do? We're just gonna full on stop up, go to periscope and get a hydrophone to get a better fix on where everybody is. He's far enough away. I'm pretty confident we can maneuver ourselves into a good position. Gonna get him on hydrophone. There's a destroyer, so he's even further back than that. Let's give the hydrophone operator just a minute to make sure we see where about everybody is. I'd rather, you know, with me learning some of the mechanics for sure, I'd rather lie in more weight and readjust a little bit than really put myself in a bind with like bad positioning, which I kind of started off this game doing that more than I'd like. So I'd definitely rather do little incremental adjustments. That is the one I want.
Torpedo ausrichten.
So all three escorts bunched right there. We still haven't shown the other tanker, which is a bit odd. Should be somewhere in here. That's right there. There's one escort. That I can't quite tell. I would say that's another escort. It's a little hard to tell from there. Yeah, definitely. The other, there's our big guy. So let's see what we can do here. Dale class. What is that projected at? Oof, could be 11,000. Velocity, we might need to get a bit closer. It's pretty, we're all the way zoomed in and we can't really get the most ideal fix. There's our other guy. So he's actually moved. Yeah, he's a bit further inside. Boy, they're right on his bow though.
Herr Kaloi, ich habe eine große Gruppe von Schiffen festgestellt.
Yes, thank you. Oh, that's another group. Oh boy. Yeah, the UBE mod definitely adds more in the way of ship travel and like actual encounters compared to base game. I mean, we're in mid-December 1939 and this is like more than I've seen in all of my playthroughs combined. The other group of the lifeboats, that's a good point. It did say though like 5 to 12 or something. 5 to 12. That's a, I like how it says small group, but that's, what if it's where the airplanes came from? Didn't want to fast forward through a ton, but we definitely need to get them just a bit closer. Alright, if we're going to be doing that, we need your trick to get us at a better angle here. So something like roughly,
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen.
let's see about where that puts us. What's your speed? We're creeping right now, I believe. Forward 1. Yeah. 3 knots since we're periscope submerged. I think we should bump her up a tad. So we might not. They're closing in, we might not be close enough yet. Or going to be close enough, I meant to say. And then we can always slow her down. Yeah, forward 3. It's kind of like a good go-to in most situations when you're trying to correct. Definitely easier to do some small adjustments. You can get reasonably close with forward 3. Good to know. So that's got, I was going to say 7 knots, I bet. And then if we get a little closer, we'll slow her down just a tad. It's not quite time to start warming tubes up. I guess I do want to take 1 second just to double check and make sure those are, yeah, we're all loaded, ready to go. He's just going to be outside of our bubble of sight, so we're just going to inch ever so close. Visibility is still great. Nice and low. And now we're going to slow down. Pretty much come to a stop for at least a minute. Yeah, maintain now. Figured right about now or when he got really close to that bubble, but he's right there, so. Oops, I think we have, yeah, it was 2 and 4. Let's take one of you off engines to help. Don't wait until the last moment, yeah. That's the thing for me personally is like learning kind of the rhythm, the timing of when to do certain things, but this is helping a lot to wrap my head around it a bit. We still got to get our bearings on him. Let's actually creep forward just a tad. Have the other engineer. Stop. All right. So let's get you back on. That's weird that he picked that up automatically. Anyways, let's see if we can get some, we can probably get his speed. Visibility's still good. He's already got his velocity, I guess. We just need the angle. We might have to refigure distance. Yeah. Get targeting data now. Let's figure out course here. I hate that name over that. That is so annoying. 66 degrees. That is going to be and distance. That is such a good trick when helping to deal with those trees. That is such a nightmare. That's pretty close. I guess let's go ahead and figure up our own speed just to do it. I know Kurt already did his thing, but still looking really dark on the stream. I need to remember to check that coloring and video so you guys aren't like watching everything blacked out. That's so annoying for me to see, at least on the preview. Could be just the color on that additional monitor, but I need to check that out. I don't want it to look too cruddy. Seven knots. Now, so we got the 3 escorts. The other is on the opposite side. I'm glad you're not using darker nights. Yeah, I heard horror stories about that, especially when people tried to stream. And like anytime you watch a YouTube video regarding it, people were like, "Oh, you can't see this," and da da da. And I was like, "No, that for me is a relative beginner. That is not conducive to me learning anything." All right, so I think our torp should be good. Let's double check. Yeah, we got plenty of time. I think this one we're gonna send 2 just because I've had such bad luck with the duds. Let's flood number 2. Estimated distance just shy of 2,800 meters. Estimated hit angle overall is 22 degrees. The speed. Thank you, thank you. I think we're gonna go for it. I see what you're saying. We should have double checked and updated the range a bit since he moved. Well, let's see what happens, and I gotta make sure I get us angled and ready to boogie out of here. Yeah, I was gonna say, if anything goofed at that, I feel a little more confident in being okay. We're not going to shortchange ourselves, that's for sure. Let's keep you on hydrophone to maintain contact. Meanwhile, let's hit 3. And see what happens.
Der Torpedo ist auf halbem Weg zum Ziel.
So glad it's been nighttime for all this too. Far less stressful. That airplane, man, that could have been... I can't believe there were 2 of them. Yes, we're hoping for 2.
40 Sekunden bis Torpedoeinschlag.
Dose booms. It's close.
30 Sekunden. 20
Derwentdale.
Sekunden.
Interesting ship name.
Treffer.
1.
Feuer an Deck. Schwere Schäden am Rumpf.
I think that was 2.
Treffer. Schwere Schäden am
Ooh.
Rumpf.
You weren't lying about that being 1 might have sufficed. Oh well, I'd rather know that we sealed the deal. Visibility 2. Let's make sure they kick their lights on. They're looking. Let's do my little habit here of checking depth. Thank you. Couldn't have done it without your help this evening. Feeling a little more confident in that kind of approach now. Still a lot to learn. Periscope, let's go ahead and ride her out for a second here and see. I want to go a little bit further away. He's looking. Are they really that goofy that they're looking toward the shore? They really think I would have stayed in... That's the port, I believe. There's our other one, though. Would have loved to have gotten 3. That would have been just massive. Yeah, those little lag spikes, that's kind of annoying in-game. Probably should have started a new save file with those mods, but hey. It's not even 1.0 release yet. No reason to stress. I would say she's sinking, yes. I think she's gonna be toast. Looks like lifeboats or something, but good lord, they look like they're capsized from there. Could just be debris. Let's we're gonna radio that in, even though it's not good practice for later on in the campaign to be picked up. Oh, they've got a 1% on us. Those two were golden. This guy's somewhat... What the hell? The Orcus? It's not even one of these ships. Well, those two, I guess we don't know. Let's stay nice and quiet. We're supposed to have some bad weather here tomorrow, hence my busy day today IRL on the farm, so I'm kind of itching to kick on some Das Boot, or even go back and watch one of my all-time favorites, Hunt for Red October. Haven't watched those in a while. I'd enjoy that. Good entertainment for a rainy day. I think it's safe to say they don't know where we are. Go ahead and circle away, boys. Go back to escort your last buddy there. Yeah, it's another 9,000 tons, roughly. I don't know about that group up there, 5 to 12. I wonder, it's probably like a massive escort. Probably like destroyers, carrier, or something crazy. Although, yeah, I guess like you said, that says wreckage 5 to 12, so that's kind of goofy as well. Counting the lifeboats and what's around, maybe. We'll go ahead and surf this and get stuff topped up where we need to be. Everybody's all... Yeah, it's not the port, that's just a little... Well, actually, it could be. Coming soon. There's nothing here yet. I suppose. I don't want him to get too close. There you go. Turn south. Just go south. There's nothing to see here. Yeah, those little tips, those are invaluable, Cosmo. The keeping them in range with the hydrophone, little stuff like that that I would have missed, that would have made it far more dangerous and harder. Having to double back and try to get credit, etc., would have been pain in the arse. Flank speed that thing and get around them. Let's go ahead and...
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen.
Keep them in visual range. Well, we slipped up on that. That's what I'll have to practice getting much better at. Keeping things positioned properly.
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen.
Yeah, find your target, sure. Perfectly logical sense. What are you doing now with the idle thing? Did your stuff get screwed up somehow with timing? Not liking those couple little lag spikes. That's like when something pops in there. In the visual range.
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten
Let's
setzen.
see. There's our smoke again, so helpful. So let's cut in just a tad.
Kurs an.
That's gotta be our tanker, the mast. That's not a destroyer. We turned into him a tad. See, we're picking it up slowly. I just have to remind myself to not skip the little things. That screws me up. Turn into them. And I think, did we already... I don't believe... Yeah, I was going to say I know I didn't. Let's grab you, Mr. Weber. Get some hands there. We'll try to end this stream out on a good note. We'll see if we can get that tanker. If we can clean up all those tankers in one single session, I'm counting that as a win. That's a pretty good day. There's the three of you turds. That's who we want. One little thing I noticed the other day was I hadn't played enough previously to see it, but sometimes when you're doing this sort of thing or have, better yet, like a lone freighter out there, you look at the little discipline morale, and I like when the crew shows the boost because they're on a bounty hunt. That's pretty cool, like that they're excited to get a little action. Cutting it in a tad. Just don't want to get too close to those destroyers, although like you said, we got a ways like within our visibility before they're really gonna actually pick us up. They also get a 25% boost when you sink a ship. No way. I think it's 25%. That's cool. I did not know that either. That is neat. I like that. Get that? No, he's still working on that torpedo. As soon as he wraps that up, we'll get the other tube loaded just to be on the ball. I can't do that way. We have to do it manually. Sorry, buddy. Not loaded. Spike, that's quite annoying in game. Yeah, definitely the escort's behind him there. Can't believe they left him out front leading the charge. Of course, I'm not one to actually know real tactics, so what do I know? There he is. Still need to get out in front of him though. See if we can hang in here and make this happen to wrap it up. Interesting how the mod tells you what class of ship it is. Yes, what I don't know about it, I'll show you when we get closer, assuming I don't goof up too much here. When you highlight over them on the map, it gives like a big box with like tons of information on like all the, you'll see like everything from tonnage to just everything. But some of it seems like I don't know that it's intentional, so maybe it's not like fully fleshed out yet. It's kind of weird. It's almost like it would be like a debug kind of thing. I'll show you when we get some visual here. I noticed it the other night when I started. It's kind of strange. We're slowly getting there. Those ones are bunched up a bit. Okay, so it's got, like, breaking everything down. It's showing when you get the name, but then it's showing, like, pitch, roll, center mass. Like, it's kind of strange. Compartment damage. I don't know. It's weird. I like having it say freighter or tanker. I agree. I think that's more than enough. Like, I feel like this isn't intentional, maybe. Like, they just haven't fully fleshed it out yet, because it is strange. Like, it's just odd. Compartments, XYZ 318. Like, it's very weird. I don't know. Let's see.
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen.
Yeah, that's what I thought too, debugging purposes, when I saw that. Definitely think so. Probably not intentional. Looking 39% on surface, so as long as I don't get too close to these jokers.
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen. Kurs setzen. Geben Sie den Kurs an.
Gotta watch our time though. It is almost 4 a.m. We don't want to get,
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten.
and I think they're starting to shield him. He might be on the inner side, which is not ideal. Let's see if that's the case here. No? Just can't quite seem to get the good, looks like it's not letting us walk on yet. It's still too far away, I guess. There we go. Just enough.
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen.
They are definitely, though, kind of sticking to the side where they probably arguably should have been for protection purposes. Let's get a little further ahead if we can. Still fairly calm, 7 knots. It's a far cry from my unfortunate 25 that I was growing far too used to seeing. Can start getting a solution on it now so you can see what your horizontal impact angle is. Okay. Well, let's turn into it a tad because we are ahead of him here and we don't need to be 10 miles lying in wait. So, let's see if we can do about something like so. Alright. Don't even need to turn into it. Let's see what we got here. I do it with you on that. Go to the old... I don't know why we had him manually selected for the Binox anyway. It's not... Binox is fine. Can you do it from the Binox though? Can you? It's kind of a dumb question on my part, but I guess I genuinely don't know. What do we say this was? Should be old class. Let me take a look for my own purposes just to learn this a bit. 2 masts, little stack on the back there. Okay, good to know. Let's do that. Let's get our... I say Binox, but it's the UZO, yeah. I quickly learned that from you guys just on everybody calling it 2 different things. After this too, I'll make sure they get those 2 tubes warmed up. I'm going to do the same thing and just send 2. I'd not even chance it with the whole rough start with the duds. Roughly, give or take. Of course, he's going to come right in between our little... It's alright, we can figure... Let's go ahead here and get those guys on, warming that up. Let's take 2 off engines. They can help with that. We'll get our course here. You can raise the mast up. Yeah, I know. Bad habit. Just not touching it once I start using it. Pretty close. We got 73 off that side. Yeah, we definitely have to raise it up there. Good lord. Did I say 73? Had it pretty close, but that'll work. And then distance. Pretty close right there. Bouncing right between them. It's pretty close. A little over 3,000 meters. Last thing is, I guess, just getting those warmed up. Again, I should have done that a little sooner. He's going to be finished with this one. The second one would cause us to have to wait a bit. We've got he defaults it like right back to where I didn't want everything. Degrees. I'm just gonna go with the 1. Trust that we can get a hit without it dud. Speed. Oh, I can't adjust that because we're stuck on T2s now. Forgot about that. See what we get. Forgot about that. Let's see, this time might be a little more risque with them. A little closer to our side this time. Now run ahead of target while you wait.
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen.
Jawohl, Herr Kaloi.
Still nighttime for a few hours. We should be good there. Ugh, get me out of that, dude. They've got 10%. They had 10% visibility on us. Hopefully, yeah, that's going to drop as we get a little bit further away.
Der Torpedo ist auf halbem Weg zum Ziel.
Half the distance. Let's boogie down here. Should be clear enough we can see for a while to at least know if he's going to get hit and go down. I hope that it doesn't dud. I really do. It's a little over halfway there. 2%. It's climbing again. They're getting a little visual on us from the side. Might have to. We need to keep this angle. Go further away.
Kurs an.
Ei, ei, Herr Kaloi.
Little further away. We can still see him.
Bis Torpedo einschlagen.
There we go. Perfect. Drop that thread of visibility.
30 Sekunden.
It's pretty close. Please don't. No dud. No dud.
20 Sekunden. Treffer.
Boom. That doesn't look like it did quite enough, though.
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen.
Jawohl.
Yeah, hell, I feel like we barely... He's not on fire, and he is not, doesn't appear to be... As long as we're still showing him our butt end there, I think we're okay. I think Mr. Hoffman is leveled up now. What do you got for me here? I'm gonna go ahead and give him the gunner just because that's another weird thing I've noticed in this mod is I think unless somebody actually has that skill unlocked, you can't use the deck gun with them, which is crazy. I don't know that this one's gonna be an easy win like we got the other two. I think he's just fine, and now we have to let them simmer, which might lead us into next stream. They're looking, but it's going to be daylight now. Soon. Can't win them all. Yeah, according to the little debug thing, health is 99%. Projected it might drop to 87. So we barely put a scratch on him with that. Let's see. Let's get these doofuses straightened around so one of them, yeah. That I have seen happen in some of my brief past playthroughs. Like, you land a torpedo and it just kind of somewhat goes enough unscathed that it's okay. I've had some crazy ones where they've been just leaned into the water so severe and it still just trucks along. Those are frustrating. It's like, really? You're gonna truck along like that? I don't know if that captain's tasks. That's all we really have him on. He should be doing navigation, even though we're already at 95%. That's all right. We'll get ourselves centered up here a bit, and I'll probably wrap her up for the evening. About 3.5 hours in for tonight, and I got a little bit later of a start than I'd like to, but that's life. Definitely a major improvement tonight. Picked up good tips from you, stuff that I think I'll be able to keep fresh on the top of my mind. They look like they're damn near about ready to run into each other. Thank you. I appreciate you, Cosmo. I like hanging out with you guys while I learn some U-boat. It's definitely been a super fun experience. U-boat, and we'll have to... I told Amanum the other night I'd like to even do a night, but it's going to be trickier than I'd like. I'd love it if we could stream like one of those movies we talked about, like Hunt for Red October, Das Boot, even my old favorite 20,000 Leagues. But you have to worry about the copyright issues and this and that. Amanum said there's a way you can look to see if any of those particular movies fall under like a certain category, classification, whatever, and if so, that would be awesome. I'd love to do that one night just for fun, for everybody to hang out, watch it, chat. But either way, still super fun just to play and learn the tips from you guys. It's awesome. We will, let's see, we're gonna take one last little peek at that guy just to see. That's the other thing with this, like, I do kind of like how it gives us a little HP bar, like, under base game, but with this mod, like, that stuff, it's like it gets wiped out. It doesn't do anything. He's leaning a bit. Is he taking on water yet? Took on a bit, maybe. Let's see what it says here with, let's go ahead and straighten this up just a tad. What's it say there? See, I don't know how accurate that is. Definitely could be a debug thing. It says water tanked 548 and climbing tons. That sounds like an obscene amount of water. Even though I understand those ships are far larger than what, you know, we sit here at a computer desk thinking, but that doesn't sound right. He's got a little bit of a pitch to him, though. And he hasn't cut in closer to his buddies, I don't believe. Although he might be. It's kind of hard to tell from just a free camera angle. Those guys are just kind of a little bit lost there, I think. They're not quite sure where we are just yet. But well, that's still a pretty successful outing as far as I'm concerned. Definitely picked up some good tips there, so we will keep those in mind. But I guess we'll wrap her up there for the evening, huh? It's about that time of night. Again, I appreciate you very much hanging out tonight. It was a nice, quiet, chill evening, which is nothing wrong with that. So, might be back at it tomorrow. Like I said, I should have some poor weather here IRL, so that gives me easier time to stream, less going on. So, I appreciate you, Cosmo. Have a good evening, man. We'll catch you later. Yep. Bedtime for sure. Later, guys.